So good afternoon, everyone. I am Rahul Likhwani from UTG community, and I have with me Mr. Rahul Namdev, who is a SAP certified trainer for various models like MMSD and FICO. And I am also myself certified in SAP FICO. So today we are going to discuss about what is the importance of SAP. See, the word has actually moved from Tally now. As you can see that most of the organizations today use SAP. Earlier, maybe when I was studying, or maybe when we talk about 10 years back, or maybe 7 8 years back also, there were a lot of companies below 150 200 crore 300 crore. They used to use Tally, but now over the period of time, so now over the period of time, what has happened is that uh, since the requirements, especially the management requirements, have changed now. So now, and the volume of data has also gone up. So that is because of this reason, world has moved towards SAP, right? So now, if you know SAP, then you can easily get a job, maybe 50 60,000 per month, right? And this is the only field where knowing is important. We have seen a lot of people who pay 3 4 lakh rupees and get actually certification, but they don't have the practical exposure, right? So we have with us Mr. Rahul Namdev. As I told you that he is a certified SAP consultant. At the same time, he has rich experience in working in industry, and right now also he takes up various projects related to SAP installation, SAP module implementation, and he's into teaching for more than 15 years now, and he has taught many students, and they actually cracked very technical interviews of various big companies like Wipro, Infosys. Okay, so he's quite experienced, and today he is going to actually deliver uh, the details about SAP, and the plan is to actually give you a good exposure in terms of practical ways of doing it. Okay, and trust me on this, I think that we are already a bit late when it comes to adopting and learning SAP. Because SAP is not a new concept, it has come, I think, 10 12 years back. Okay, we are already late in implementing, learning it. So and right now, even if you see, especially in finance, they write at the bottom that SAP is must, especially when you talk about companies having more than 200 crore of turnover. Earlier, more than 500 crore turnover companies used to use SAP, though it is a very costly affair to actually install SAP. But now, and especially after pandemic, because what has happened is that these small companies, 80 crore company, 100 crore company, actually they could, because of their difficulties in survival, what has happened is that these companies are getting taken over by big companies. So if the big company has SAP as a primary software, then you cannot expect the small company to carry the same thing in Tally. So that is also one of the major reasons, especially in these 2 years, these 100 150 crore company, 200 crore companies, those have been actually taken over by big companies. They have actually started using SAP as their primary software. So right, so it is very important, and it is, it can give you a very good upskill in terms of it can give you a very good exposure, and it can add to your resume. So without wasting much time, I'll just before I hand it over to Mr. Rahul Namdev, I'll just brief you about how and why we are doing the SAP. So this is our community, EODG community, right? So this is our EOTG community. Then SAP A to Z is our joint venture, EOTG community, and we are three partners. Actually, there is this SAP A to Z solution is a Delhi registered company. So we are three partners. I myself sit in Mumbai. Then we have one partner who is taking care of Bhopal and Indore, and one partner is already there in Delhi. So the main focus is to give practical exposure to students in terms of SAP, and most of our students are actually, they themselves have got in, such an inclination towards the subject that they started their own coaching classes also, right? So the idea of learning anything is to, learn it from, from top to bottom, so that you can actually apply it, and you yourself can become an expert. So it is not always about a job. So in SAP, it is not always about a job, right? Rahul sir also used to do a job, but because he is passionate about the subject, he actually thought of teaching it to other students, right? So you can make a good career in SAP as a consultant also and as a teacher also, right? So about SAP, SAP is a ERP software, as we might all be knowing. There are numerous ways in which SAP have been providing in enhancement management across the businesses. So see, this is the why it has been, why, see, SAP is a very costly affair. Still many companies go for it because it actually gives you a process. So it is process oriented, right? So SAP has, more than 28 modules. Our focus is to learn SAP FICO, right? So SAP FICO has two parts. One is FI and one is CO. Okay. So FI is for our external requirement. That means for statutory compliances. So if in order to prepare financials, balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow, we need FI module. And for CO, that is internal requirements. So internal requirements are MIS, cost center reporting. So these are called management reports. So for management reports, you need CO, that is controlling, as a major feature, right? So this I have already explained you why we need, and you see, this, especially when you talk about Indian sector also, not many professionals we have in terms of giving good quality, or good quality services in terms of SAP FICO, right? So there is a huge vacuum that is there, and that we can actually fill it. So management and financial accounting knowledge, configuration, research and technical testing skills, knowledge of business processes. See, all these are requirements. So business process is very important. So process is the, until unless you have a process. So sometimes what happens is that, even after paying a lot of money, SAP implementation gets failed, because for SAP implementation, you need to have a system, a very robust kind of a system already installed into your entire organization, and without a process it would be very difficult to implement SAP FICO. So we as a consultant, we can be working at front end also, and we can be working at back end also, which Rahul sir will take you through in detail. So job descriptions, consultants are accountable for system configurations, implementation based on business needs, refining methods, general, that is GAAP, general accepted accounting principles, right? Responsibility of a consultant. So executing SAP business warehouse, right? MMPP, that is purchase material modules. Then financial configuration, of course, financial is a big part of an organization. Training also, offering support to testing process, harnessing opportunities for business system enhancement. So see, SAP installation itself is a business enhancement, right? What you are doing is that you are actually implementing a process into the system, right? So see, you can, after getting into the details, and after doing courses, after doing thorough practice, in a year or two you can actually become a certified SAP consultant. Okay. And in SAP, in Indian scenario, nobody will ask you for any kind of certificate or something like that. It is very, very practical. So if you have not learned it properly, then you will get exposed. We have a lot of we actually assist a lot of consultants. See, what I'm telling you is that we, or even Rahul sir also, he actually assists or consults with those consultants who have SAP certification in their hand. So those who have taken certification from SAP, they also need help from people who have great exposure, great practical exposure, right? So it is all about practical. There is nothing theory involved into it. Okay. So the conclusion is, why SAP FICO is because of the fact that it is the need of the hour. Every, in what we are expecting, maybe 1 year down the line, you would not find any finance role without SAP. So it is mandatory for a finance person to actually learn SAP, right? And that is how we have decided to actually impart knowledge about SAP and how important it is, and how it can actually give you a lift in your career. So this is nothing but our EOTG existence. We have existence all across Instagram, WhatsApp, then Telegram, Twitter, and we have our own EOTG community website also. And now we have a YouTube channel also. So the session that we are doing right now, it will, once it is done, it will directly get recorded and posted on YouTube also, right? So with this, I'll just hand it over to Rahul sir for further deliberations. And I'll just stop my screen. So Rahul sir, over to you. You can start sharing your screen. Rahul sir, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Rahul sir, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All of you getting my screen? Rahul, are you getting my screen? Hello?
Yes, it is visible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, good afternoon, guys. This is Rahul Lamdev, your SAP FICO consultant. Today, we will understand what actually SAP is. Okay. Lots of time, candidates understand that ERP is a software or SAP is software. But later on, you will understand that what ERP is basically or what SAP is actually. Okay. So first of all, understand what ERP is. Okay. So ERP is basically a business application, or we can say that a business we can say that a business application concept. Okay. For example, if we have a company. Okay. First, understand what ERP is actually, then we'll come to the SAP. So what ERP is actually? ERP is a concept. Okay. Like, what is the full form of ERP? ERP's full form is Enterprise Source Planning. For example, if you have a company, and companies have some resources like man, machinery, material, money, sales, and plant. Okay. So the company have these resources. Now the company, what can do? The company want to use these resources in the pre-planned way, or they want to use it maximize way, or they want to use it in the maximum utilization process. Okay. So what the company will do, or what organization will do, that they will create the department to maintain these resources. Okay. So all the companies are doing all these things, but now this generation wants a platform also, so that they can use this resources in the pre-planned manner, and they get the information of all the departments and the resources on the real-time basis. For example, you are working in a company in the FICO, okay, in the finance department. So what is the work of finance? Means you have to do the payments of the receivables or payables, and you have to get the payment from the receivables. Okay, then how you can do all these things when you will get the information from the departments, other departments. For example, like the purchase department will do the vendor invoice, will create the vendor invoice. Okay, so this invoice will be visible to the finance department. Okay, or we can say that for example, customer sales department will create a customer invoice. So this invoice will be visible to the finance. Then how it can be possible? It can be possible when we have a platform like ERP. Okay, for example, you are working in a company, you are working in a company which don't have any platform, or we can say any software. Okay, you are doing all the paperwork. So in that case, the other department will share the information on the papers. Okay, but due to this paperwork, art work will go there. Okay, or you won't get the information of other department in the real time basis. Okay, so in the big companies, they want every information in their hand right now on the real time basis, so that they can do their work on the time manner. Okay, so in this case, ERP concepts works. Okay, how ERP concepts work? First of all, understand that this ERP concept divided into three parts. Okay, first of all, in this concept, every department have their own particular module. Now, what is module? Understand first what is module. For example, you want to work on finance. Okay, now right now you are doing the work of finance on the paper, but now we want a software, or we can say an application where you can do the all the kind of finance on that. So if you are working on an application having the work of finance, that is called finance or FICO module. Same like as, for example, if you want to work for the purchase or inventory, you need an application. You need a module. Okay. So for example, we have a materials management module. Now, what we are doing in the materials management module, we are doing the all the activities related to the material like purchase or inventory, etc. So same thing is with the other departments also. We have different modules to take care the works of all the different departments. For example, finance module having the activity related to the finance, materials management module having the activity related to the purchase and inventory, sales and distribution module having the activities related to the sales and distribution. Same thing is there also. We have different modules. Okay, so right now I think you understand that modules means where we can do the work of your particular department. Okay, like for example, earlier we are writing the letter on the paper, but right now we have the word, MS Word. Now why we are using the MS Word? Because MS Word having the all the activities related to the writing, or we can say that letter writing, or we can or we having the lots options also at there to manage all these things. Okay, so what first thing we'll get from the ERP? First of all, module. Okay, now second thing is that all the companies, all the departments having wants the details of each and every department, so that they can work with each other. For example, as I told you earlier, that whenever any materials management department person raise an invoice for vendor, that invoice will directly visible to the finance department candidate. How it can be possible? Because this different modules like materials management module, finance module, sales module, all modules are integrated with each other. Now, because of the integration, these modules share their information with other departments also. For example, we are using the Facebook right now. Okay, so for example, if somebody wants to become your friend, they will send you a friend request. Now after the accepting their friend request, you can share the information with each other. So whenever or whatever you will post on your page, your partner or your friend will get that post on the same time. So how it could be possible? Because the profile of your Facebook friend and yours are integrated with each other. Same thing here also. All these modules are integrated, well integrated with each other, so that they can share the information with each other. So due to the sharing of the integration or sharing of information, there is no need to do any paperwork. For example, like sales and distribution department will create a invoice of a customer. So due to the integration in SAP or ERP, this invoice will be visible to the finance module users. Okay, so what finance users will do? Finance user will get the payment from the customer, or they will take the payment from the customer. Same like materials management or purchase department candidate will share any invoice of the customer or the vendor. Then finance department would do the payment to the vendors on the time. So how it could be possible? Due to the integration with the all modules. I hope you will get all these things. Okay. Now the third thing is that all these modules are available in the same application. It means that, for example, you have a company and you want ERP system or SAP, then you will get a whole application. In that whole application, you will get different modules. Like example, MS Office is a business application. We can say that a whole bunch of different application inside in that. For example, MS Office having MS Words, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, MS Outlook Express. Okay, it means that in a single application you are getting all this module. Same thing is with the SAP also, or we can say the ERP also. That SAP system or ERP system are having a single application, and this application having different modules. Now the departments or the companies, whatever the modules they want, they will work on it. Okay, so this is the concept of ERP. Basically, ERP is the concept, and SAP. Now SAP work on the concept of ERP. Okay, so ERP is a concept only. It's not a software. Lots of time people misunderstand that ERP is a software. No, ERP is a business. ERP is a concept, and SAP is a business application, or we can say that a software which work on the concept of ERP. Now SAP also having these types of modules like materials management, finance, sales and distribution, production planning, human resources, etc. Lots module available in SAP, and these modules are integrated with each other so that they can share the information with the other modules, and all the users of these modules can see the information of other modules and can do their work easily in the real-time basis. So ERP is a concept and SAP is a software business application which work on the concept of ERP. I hope you will understand all. If anybody having any doubt related to this, you can stop me and ask. Okay, I will give you a time of 5 to 10 minutes to ask your query. Okay, so you can ask to me. Okay, so now you can understand that you already understand what ERP and SAP is. Now how SAP can share the information with each other module. Okay, for example, I'm saying that in the SAP system, every department or module work with each other, and they share the information with other module also. Then how it could be possible? This is possible due to the centralized database. Okay, for example, right now we are using WhatsApp and Facebook. Okay, now you are using WhatsApp on your mobile also, on your system also. For example, you forget your mobile, or your mobile gets stolen. Okay, now you will purchase a new mobile phone or laptop, and whenever you install WhatsApp or Facebook on it, you will get all your information which is in your previous system, which is in your previous mobile also, and Facebook in Facebook also. How it could be possible? Because data is not in your system or not in your mobile. Data is lies on the servers or database. That's why you are getting the information of your friends and other persons in your system, and they are getting your information and your data due to the database. Okay, so due to the centralized database, everybody getting the information with each other. Why? Because all the data are dumped on the centralized database, and from that database, all the data will share with each others. Okay, that's why.
Just a second. Somebody is saying that they have doubts, so I'll just suggest you to use chat box to write down your doubts, and sir will clarify it, because
Mhm.
unmuting all will create a lot of disturbance, right? So please, if you have any doubt, you can just put it on chat box, and we'll be able to guide you accordingly. Okay, thank you. Sorry sir, you can continue.
Okay. So, for example, your company don't have any application like SAP. Okay. So in that case, if they are working on the systems, particular system have their information. For example, if anybody doing something on finance, their information lies on that particular system. For example, somebody doing the work on a purchase, they have the information in that particular system. So this type of systems called decentralized system. It means that they are not sharing their information with others. Okay. And in the other case, for example, if there is an application like SAP, if there is somebody is working on finance module, they are sharing their information with the other module also. If somebody is working on the materials management department, they are sharing with the information of the other modules like finance and etc. If somebody is working on sales and distribution module, they are sharing with them information with the other modules due to the centralized database. I think now you can understand that what is decentralized means you are not sharing with the information with each other, and centralized means everybody is sharing the information with the other also. Okay. So due to this, for example, now your company is having SAP, okay, or ERP based system. So SAP work on the concept of centralized database. Now here you are getting mastered in that everyone like inventory, sales, finance, or other production department also are doing work, and they are storing their information on the centralized database. And due to centralized database, this centralized database sharing the information of all the departments with other department also. Due to this, we got the real-time information of each and every department. Now, I'm giving an example. For example, a purchase department will create an invoice of a vendor. Now, due to centralized database, whenever the purchase department input an invoice in the system, due to the centralized database, this invoice will show or will be available to the finance department on the real time basis. Means just right now. Okay. Now you already know that the payment of the vendor will be done by the finance department. So now the finance department will have the invoice information of the vendor. Now finance department will do the payment to the vendor whenever the due date will come. Okay. Now in case of sales, for example, if any sales department candidate will generate an invoice for customer. Now this invoice will be visible to the finance department due to the centralized database. Now the finance department candidate will take the payment from the customer on the due dates. Okay, now how it could be possible due to the centralized database. So for example, sales department will book a order. Okay, from the customer. Now they can easily see that what inventory department having this stock available with them. Okay, so that's why sales, because of this, sales department will commit to the customer on that basis due to the inventory information. I think you will get all the details. I'm what I'm saying. Okay. Now come to the SAP. Okay. Lots of time people understand that SAP is a software, or what SAP or which company created SAP. Now I will explain you. For example, right now I am using this operating system of Windows 10. Okay. Now which company created this Windows 10? I think you know, Microsoft. Okay. It means that the company name is Microsoft and the product is Windows. Okay. But in the case of SAP, the software name, or we can say that the name of application is SAP, as well as the company which launched SAP, or also the name of SAP. It means that the name of company as well as application are same. Okay. So SAP full form is System Application Product and Data Processing. So this is the full form of SAP, and this company is located in the Germany, world of Germany. Okay, right now in India, this company also having the office in the Bangalore also in India, but this is the research office of the SAP, but the head office is in the Germany. Okay, so where SAP comes, I will explain you. See, in the times of 1970, the concept of ERP comes. Okay, so 5 engineers of IBM want to create a application which work on the concept of ERP. They created a project that we want to create a system or application in which all the departments which work with each other, and they can share the information with each other, so that every department will get the information of other departments, so that they can do the planning in the more effective manner. They represent this project to the before the IBM, but IBM rejected this project. Okay, and they said that we don't want to invest in this. But after that, these engineers left the IBM and created their own company with the name of SAP. Okay, now you already know what SAP is right now. Even IBM is the implementation partner of SAP. I will explain you later on. So, what SAP is? SAP is a company, as well as the name of application also. The full form of SAP is System Application Product and Data Processing. Engineers of ex-engineers of IBM created left the IBM and established their own company with the name of SAP. And now SAP is the world third largest as a software creator company or IT company. We can say that. First one is Microsoft, second one is Google, third one is SAP. Okay. Now there is a question that who is using SAP? Because lots of candidates asked us that we don't know which company uses SAP, or we don't know where SAP is running. I will explain you. 70% of the top 100 companies, I think you know about Fortune 100 companies, they are using SAP. 80% of Fortune 500 companies, the top 500 companies of the world, in which 80% of the companies are using SAP. Okay. Now we will talk about modules in SAP. Okay, I'm just saying that. Okay, I will explain you. Okay, so let me explain this. Yeah. So there are a lot of modules in SAP, like like for example, that every company having different departments and they have different activities like in that. For example, for sales, they have sales and distribution module where we can do the activities related to the sales and distribution. For the finance, we have finance and controlling module, which having activity related to the internal accounting for finance, and for the management accounting, we have controlling. For the purchase and inventory part, we have materials management module. For human resources capability, we have SCM or human resources module, human capital management. For the production purpose, we have production planning department or module. For quality, we have quality management module. There are a lot of modules available in SAP also, and some are industry specific modules which can be implemented on the particular industries. Okay. And there are two technical modules also. First one is ABAP and second one is BASIS. ABAP is basically for the development purpose. Example, for example, some company wants to implement SAP in that, and they have different requirement. So the ABAP module is related to the development purpose. So the new activities or the new add-ons will created in the ABAP module. Okay, and the basis module, what is the work of basis module? Basically, your ID passwords of the candidates, ID passwords of the users or consultants. Okay, or the works related to the servers, or movement of the data from one server to another server. All these things are managed by the basis teams. Okay, logistics and execution related to the transportation, CRM related to the BPOs. Okay, okay. Somebody asking me a question that how the SAP has edge over Dynamics NB. I don't understand what you are saying. What are you asking? Hello, Shreya. Hello. Shreya, can you explain me what you're asking? I think Shreya is not there. Okay. Okay. Let me explain you some companies. Let me tell you some companies who are using SAP right now in India. For example, like first, I'm telling you all this. Telling you all this thing that. And okay, sure. Okay, so Shreya is asking that why she or why other candidates will learn SAP. Okay, so why you should do why should you learn SAP? Okay, for example, right now you are working in a company where Tele is using. Okay, so Tele is a basic business basic financial accounting system. And they are small companies they are using Tele. And there you will get the salary of 5 to 10,000, 12,000, or we can say 20,000. Or if you have experience of 15 to 20 years, you will get the salary of 20 to 30,000. But you already know that big companies or big giants using SAP. Okay, so what they are doing that they have a criteria that if somebody know how to work on SAP, then they can only they can only hire them. Okay, like for example, there is a company who is using Tele, having a turnover of 1 crore, 2 crore only. Okay, so they will pay you the amount as per their requirement or as per their packages. Okay, but a company who is using SAP, they have a crores of turnover, like 100 crore, 200 crore, 300 crore. So in that company, the companies using SAP have different activities, and they are they have large number of large scale industries or medium scale industries. So at there you will get a good package in that, because in the small companies they have a limited business process, but in other big companies they have a lots of work available there. So to manage all these things, they are using SAP. So if you are learning SAP, you will get the job in that particular companies. Okay, so in that case you will learn whenever you learn the SAP, you will get the jobs or opportunity in that particular big companies, and at there you will get a big we can say that a satisfactory package in that. For example, right now what I'm saying, I will explain you. There is a recent placement my student got in a company in the TVS Motors. Okay, there is a plant of TVS Motor in the Chakan, Pune. At there he is working as an end user only, and he is a fresher, but his starting package is 3.60, and his only age of 23 and 24. Okay, after mechanical engineering they got the placement in the TVS Motors, and right now they are getting the package 3.60. So in the initial, as an end user, you will get a good package. And one of my candidate who got placement in TCS in SAP FICO, they got the package of 6.5. He is also fresher, but due to the SAP, he got the package of 6.5 in the initial stage, in the fresher, and he is also of 25 or 26 also age. Okay, so it means that I am saying that if you getting the if you have the training, got the training in the SAP, and you will learn SAP, and wherever you got where will you go where SAP is using, you will get a good package, because SAP is a software where you can change as per your requirement. So who can work on SAP? Who having a knowledge or sound knowledge of SAP. Okay, so in that industries, in this industries, there's a lots good opportunities in SAP, or they have good prestige also. Okay. Okay, Rahul. Okay, one Prithvi is saying that if I want to take SAP certification or say course, that I can join company having SAP, which module should I take course of? Okay, so first of all, Prithvi, if you are a fresher, don't go for SAP certification, because there's a wastage of 3 to 4 lakh in the initial stage. Okay, so if you have experience to 2 to 3 years in SAP, then go for SAP certification. Okay, and you are asking for module, so whatever the module training you are getting in the initial stage, and whatever the experience you will get in the real time of 2 to 3 after 2 to 3 years, then you will go for the particular module for the certification. For example, don't go for certification in initial stage. Okay, because at there will not get any practical information like we are doing. We are giving you the practical information. Okay, so don't go at there. Okay, yeah, I know you are chartered accountant, but do you have knowledge of SAP? Do you have knowledge of SAP? No. So there is no need to go on. There is no. I think there is a wastage of money. Okay, so if you are a chartered accountant, take a training only. Okay, normal training like we are doing, we are giving on, we are giving or we are providing to the candidates. Then go to the industries, take the experience of 2 to 3 years, then go for certification. Okay,
Well,
go for SAP FICO.
yeah, per three, right? So
Yeah,
Prithvi,
go for SAP FICO. I told you.
yeah,
I told him.
yeah. So Prithvi, to answer your question, I am also a chartered accountant. Okay, so right, see what edge we have over others is that we have our accounting and our taxation knowledge with us, right? So if you are if you know SAP, see whenever you go on to any interview, right? If you are going for any kind of interview, all they ask is whether you have exposure in SAP or not. Nobody, especially in Indian context, nobody will ask you any kind of certification that you have got. And this 4 to 5 lakh, it is better you can, you can invest it into something productive, right? See, I told you, as you know, I started off the session stating that there are a lot of people who have taken certification, but if you ask them a single query, Rahul sir knows it. There are people who actually call us for any kind of support. So if you cannot provide any kind of support to your client, then there is no point of doing such kind of certification. Okay, even if you get pass into it, it will not serve you. So practical knowledge is what is required, and that is why we have actually initiated it, because of the fact that it is a need of the hour. But no, you might be able to afford it, but there are many people who cannot afford such heavy expenses, and at the end of it they end up saying that it is not it was not worth it. So the idea is to learn it, right? Yeah, sir. Okay.
If you want to do the certification, go for a certification after 2 to 3 years, whenever you have the experience in that in SAP. Okay, not in the taxation, not in the finance, but if you got the experience in SAP in your particular field like finance and that, then you will go for the certification, but not in the initial period. Okay, there's just a wastage of money for in the initial period if you are doing the certification. What kind of practical training or practical exposure will I get? Okay, let me explain you, Shreya. I think Shreya, yeah. Okay. So whatever we will deliver to you is basically on the practical only, not the theoretical part. Okay. How can we do the practical process? I will explain you. Okay. Give me just 10 minutes. I'm just coming on that also. Okay. Okay. I think you understand what SAP is, what ERP is. First of all, just give me a message. Do you all understand what SAP is, ERP is? Anybody can ping. Anybody can ping.
Guys, okay. You can use the chat box, right?
Okay. Professor said that he also understand what ERP and SAP is. Okay. Now we'll come to the SAP FICO. Okay. Now we'll go to the SAP FICO. Okay. So all of you, I think you are getting my screen. All of you are getting my screen. Now, for example, okay. Every system has a front end and a back end. Okay, like for example, we are using WhatsApp and we are using Facebook. So this is the front end, what we are using. Front end is for the user only, where only users can work. Okay, and they can do their day-to-day activities. Like for example, we are doing the chatting, we are uploading our data, we are uploading our status also. So we are working as a end user at there. So the whatever we are doing on the system, basically this is for the end users. Okay, or the front end is for the users. For example, whatever we are using the Facebook, we are working as an end user at there, and whatever we are getting, we are working on the front end. Okay, so every system or application has a front end and a back end. Front end is for the user, where they can only use, and back end is for the consultant, where the system can be configured. Okay, I think you understand that someone created the Facebook or someone configured the Facebook, or sometimes new add-ons will come on Facebook and WhatsApp. Okay, so who is doing the configuration or who is doing the customization? These types of consultants who will do the configuration or customization in the application, and where they can do the configuration customization on the backend. Okay, so I think now you all understand that what is front end and back end. Front end is for the user and back end is for the consultant. Okay, now understand what type of work SAP having. Okay, so in SAP there are two type of profile of the person. Okay, if you are working in a company as an end user, you can only do the day-to-day activity on SAP. Okay, and if you are working on an IT company, at there you will be a consultant. What is consultant? What is end user? I will explain you. Okay, suppose a person who is working in Reliance Industries Limited. Okay, a person who is working in Reliance Industries Limited, or we can say Reliance Jio. Okay, so Reliance Jio are working on SAP, or Reliance Jio are using SAP application. Okay, so the people who working in Reliance Jio and they are doing work or day-to-day activity on SAP, they are basically are the users, or we can say that end user. End user will do the day-to-day activity. For example, if somebody work in the finance module or in the finance module, they do the day-to-day activity of related to the payable, receivable, journal entries, etc., or reporting purpose. Okay, for example, if somebody working in the purchase department or department, they can do the day-to-day activity related to the purchase, like purchase order, goods receiving, related to the inventory work. Okay, so the person who is using SAP, they are basically are the end user. Now, who will use SAP? A company who implement SAP in there, like I'm saying that Reliance Jio implements SAP. Okay, in their company, it means that Reliance Jio using SAP, and the person who is working in Reliance Jio on SAP, they are basically called the end users. Now, end user, what end user will do? End user will do the day-to-day activity on their particular modules. I think you understand. Let me explain you how an end user can work. Okay, so I think you are getting all of you getting my screen. This is the front end of SAP.
Yes, sir.
This is the front end of SAP. Now, what is the front end? As I told you earlier, front end is for the user. Okay, so this is for the user window. Okay, here user can work. For example, like Shreya is asking me that how the training will go. Shreya, all the full training will go to the practical basis only. Okay, we will explain you, or we will deliver each and every topic to you on the practical basis. Okay, like for example, how an end user work. How an end user work. For example, if you are working as an end user on SAP Finance, then you can do the work of finance or day-to-day activity. So where a finance module end user works, finance module end user work on the front end, and here you will get you are getting that there are lots of options available. So if you are a finance end user, you can go to the accounting, and here you will get your module financial accounting and controlling. Okay, here you have your module financial accounting and controlling. Here you do your day-to-day activity. How you can do day-to-day activity? For example, if you want to create a journal entry, I think all of you already know that what is journal entries, how you can post a journal entries in SAP Finance. Then like let's see. For example, if you want to work on general entries, then go to general ledgers. If you want to do some activities in the receivable part, then go to the receivable. Okay. If you want to do any work on payable part, like to the vendor side, then you can go to the folder of payable. For example, right now you want to post a journal entries. Okay. Then how a journal entry can post? See, at there you will get an option of posting at there. Okay. Here, enter GL account document. This is the option to create a journal entries. Okay. One more thing I will tell you. For example, if I want to create a journal entry, so what I did, I have to follow the path. For example, I will go to the accounting, then financial accounting, general ledgers, posting, and here I got my option of journal entries. I will click on this. So this is the page to create a journal entries. Okay, so this is the window to create a journal entries. But here you will get something more. At there you are getting a code like FB50. Now what is FB50? Okay, let me explain you. FB50 is a T code. Okay, so this is like T code. Okay, like FB50, FD02, FB50, FD068, T code. This is the T code. Now what is T code? T code is a shortcut to go on a particular window. For example, here I follow this path and come to post the journal entry. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here we got the page related to the journal entries. But being an end user, I'm doing journal entries 10 times, 20, 50 times in a day. So in that case, this T code will use. Okay, for example, if I don't want to follow the path, I just write FB50 in the command field. This is your command field here. All the transition code run. So whenever if you write just T code like FB50, now FB50 is the T code to go on the general accounting document. Here, I just press the enter. I'll come to the option of general entries. So I think now you understand that what T code is. Transition code, the shortcut to go on a particular window. Either you follow this path to go on a particular window, or either you can follow this transition code to go on a particular window. For example, you want to see a document. Okay, so you have an option of change also. But if you want to, if you know the transition code, then you can write this T code here also, and you can go directly to the window of change document. And these transition codes are universal. Universal means whenever or wherever you work on SAP in any company, you will get the same transition codes or same path. Okay, it doesn't mean that here you get a different path, in the real time you will get the different path, or in the real time you will get the different T codes. No, all these things are universal. Whenever, wherever, or anywhere in the company you're working, you will get the same path in the T codes. Okay, anybody having doubt related to the transition codes? Okay, so let me explain you how to create a journal entries. Like I just follow this path, and I also know the transition code, but I just follow the path. Okay, document. Lots of my candidates who doing the training under me, they created lots of companies in the system also. So there is a company like Hindalco is available in available in the system. I will explain you how to create a journal entry in this company. Okay. For example, if you want to create a journal entry, so you will put a document date here. For example, document date is 28/8/2021. Okay. Now posting date. What is posting date? Posting date means on that date you want to post the document. Okay. Now I'm doing a header text that I want to do a entry of material purchase. Okay. Now here. Now what we are getting here, this is GL account. So I have to enter the details of general ledger's number of GL account. Now I am doing the entries of material purchase. So I have to take the general ledger of material purchase. I think you already know what is general ledger. If somebody don't know, I will explain you. Okay, so I just took the material purchase general ledger. Okay, so if I am purchasing, so this is go to the debit entry, and I'm writing just that I'm purchasing material of 22,000. Okay, now in the next row, I'm taking the general ledger of bank. Okay, SBI Bank, Axis Bank. Now I'm getting I'm saying that I'm doing the payment from the Axis Bank. Okay, so this is the payment option. So I'm doing I'm choosing the credit side or and enter the amount 20,000. And in the right side, I'm doing I'm just giving the date of value date. Value date means on which date you want to pass the document in the banking ledger. Okay, so like this one, we will do our journal entries. I think Shreya, you got your answer that how we can deliver the training. All the training are practical basis. Each and every topics will explain to you practically. First of all, we will explain you the topic. Then we will explain you then we will practically explain you how to create it. Like right now, I'm explaining you. We will take an example of a company from starting to the last. Okay. So all the training, the full training will go to the practical scenario only. Okay, not the theoretical part. Theoretical part is just to understand the scenarios or to explain the or to explain the topic only. But all the training will go to the practical only, because in the real time only practical knowledge will be preferred. Okay. So here you will create your general error entries also. This is your back button. If you want to post this document, then click on the post option. Okay, this is the post option. If you want to go back to the system, then this is the back option. This is your exit button, and this is the cancel button. This is the page up, page down button, and this one is the create new session. Now, what is the create new session option? Like Google, for example, if you are using Google, you can create multiple tabs right there, so that you can work on the different windows. Same thing is also in the SAP. You can work on the different tabs also in the same time. For example, right now we are in the window of journal entries, but if you want to see if you want to do something extra other things, then you don't need to go back from this window. You can directly click on this create new session option. Now system will open a new window also to you, like here. Okay, so we will get a new window also. Here you will get your general entries document, general entries window also, and here you will get your new window also. Okay, so I think you already understand that what is new create new session option. Okay, so I'm not saving this option also, because this is a different company. Okay, so for example, if you want to see any document, as I told you, you can go to the document option. Okay, here you can see the document what you created in the last time. Okay, so like for example, if I want to see the document number, like this is the document number, and this is the company code. Whatever document you want to see, or you want to make any changes, then go to this option also. I just want to explain you that all these things will be happen practically in the system. Okay, or you have to do all these things practically in the real time scenario also, and we can do all these things practically during the time of training also. Okay, for example, if you want to create any customer, or we can say that if you want to create any uh, receivable part, or if you want to create anything in payable part, then you can also go to the receivable part also, or we can say payable also. For example, if you want to create a vendor invoice, then you can go to the accounts payable option also. Here you can go up the option of document create an invoice, like for example invoice. So FBS is a T code to create a vendor invoice. You can follow the path also, or you can directly run this T code FB60 in this option. Yeah. Okay. So this is the vendor invoice creation option. Here you can enter the vendor invoice. So vendor is part of the payable. So you can create a invoice of the vendor here. For example, this is a company Hindalco. I'm just choosing a vendor. I just click on the pop-up button. Just enter the company code. Okay, like John Energy Limited. Okay, invoice date, like this one. Amount is 27,000. Example. You can also enter the text like service purchase. We are doing the vendor invoice, so we have to choose the GL related to the purchase or any other things. Okay, like service purchase GL. And now understand one thing, that I'm choosing the vendor. I am choosing the GL number. So where this GL number, where this vendor comes from? Now we are doing the end user part right now. Okay, it means that end user can only work, or you can do the day-to-day activity. Okay, so end user can work only when all the configuration should be done. Okay, it means that all this GL, all this vendors come here due to the configuration. Okay, I will come on it later. Okay, so first of all, understand what I'm doing right now. For example, I or choose the option of service purchase. So this is a purchase option. So it will go to the debit entry side. Now enter the amount. For example, right now 27,000. Okay. So just press enter. System will give you all the details. And if there is any error, system will give you the error also. Okay. So here system not giving you any error. Everything is okay. Okay. So here like this one, like this, you can create a vendor invoice also. Okay. But as I told you, as I asked you earlier, that from where this GL number or this vendor or the short text or where this debit side, credit side comes. So this is the part of configuration. And who will do the configuration? As I told you, consultant will do the configuration in the IT section also. Let me explain you. Okay, there is a lot of work in the end user part also. We will learn all this thing during time of training also in the end user part. For example, if you want to do the payment of any vendor, then go to the outgoing payment. Then this is the posting of outgoing payment. Okay, option. So here you can do the payment of the customer or the vendor. Like for example, if you want to give any detail to the give any payment to the vendor, then create this document. Now I will enter the document date like 28 at 2021. Now my posting date is 29/8. Now in the header text, you can enter any text like for example invoice number. I want to do the payment of this invoice number. Okay. Now account, through which account you want to do the payment, from cash or the bank or etc. So whatever from wherever you want to from where you want to give the payment, choose that particular general ledgers. Okay. Like for example SBI account. Now you have to enter the amount of that person of that invoice and value date on which date you want to clear this account or clear this entry in the bank's statement. Now choose your vendor, for which vendor you want to do the payment. For example, John Energy. Okay. So as like that, whenever so after that, whenever I click on the enter button, system will ask me about the invoice, for which invoice you which invoice against you want to do this payment. Okay. So like here, you can give you can do the payment of this invoice of the vendor. So right now I'm giving you all this explanation practically. Same thing we will do during the time of training. Right now, I'm not saving the document because I'm giving you the example of the candidate who is already taking the training from my side. So I'm not entering any or not saving any document right now. Okay. But whenever we will get the training, we will start from our company from the starting to last, and we will do all that particular part in that particular company. Okay.
So guys, if you have any doubt on a particular thing, we can just have a break, and we can entertain your doubts. And if it is all clear, then we can move forward. See, the idea is to give you practical exposure about how SAP works, and as many people think that it is very tough to work under SAP environment. Uh, Trust me on this, it is not that tough. Especially when we talk about end user part, it is very easy. All you need is to get yourself habitual of the system. Yeah, of course, configuration part is something that is a bit technical to learn. But again, see, I have also myself done the course from Rahul sir itself. Okay, that is how we met, and that is how we started the partnership. Okay. So just have this in mind, is that the only thing that you need to have in mind, whether you do it from here or from anywhere else, just keep in mind that it is not that difficult to adopt, right? Yes, sir. So any doubts, guys, you can just use the chat box, and we will be happy to answer your doubts. Okay.
We are giving you 5 minutes. In this 5 minutes, you can ask your question. Okay.
Yeah, you
Unless
can ask your questions, or if you have any if you are facing any kind of difficulty with the entries that have been flown, or anything you want a specific you want to ask, yes or no, you can at least tell us, so that we can move forward.
okay. Yeah, there's we are giving you 5 minutes. Okay, for it. Just ask your question. We will answer you. Okay. Otherwise, we will go ahead for it.
Hello guys, any doubt? I think we can move on. So Avinash has a doubt. So I'll tell you, Avinash, for BCom graduates, I think there cannot be anything better than doing SAP. See, as a BCom graduate, as you already know that the salary slab starts by like 15,000 or max to max 20,000, right? But when you have SAP exposure, then it can actually boost your profile, and somewhere initial packages also you will get a good initial package. At the same time, you will have a better understanding of finance as a department in practical scenario. So usually what happens is that I am myself a BCom graduate, and I know that not much practical things are being said to the students who are doing their BCom finance. So it gives you a larger picture about the organization, how it works. And trust me on this, it is going to just double your initial package if you have good exposure in SAP, and if you have learned it religiously. See, FICO and HANA, again, I'll tell you, see, there is, Avinash, we can discuss the registration part, later. Once the session gets over, I'll just connect with you. So don't worry, I'll just share the form also with you. So you just put in your details, and we'll contact you. And answering this FICO and HANA question, see, why people, are, we are actually not able to understand why HANA is getting so much popularity. If you see the difference, see, earlier what was happening is that SAP had its main server, okay, and main database with Oracle, right? So Oracle is a different company and SAP is a different company, right? So that was ECC 6.0, right? The one that you are right now looking at your screen, right? But when HANA came into the picture, so with HANA, what has happened is that the server, now actually what SAP did was, since there was a dependability on Oracle for its server, so now the server, they've actually shifted, they've actually built their own server on cloud, and now it is a cloud based software, right? So its server is not there with Oracle now, so it is their own made server. That is the major difference that HANA and ECC has. There is no other difference when it comes to how it works. See, many people start learning on HANA, so there is no point. And even if you see the fees difference also, if you go for HANA, the fees is entirely different, and if you go for ECC, the fees is a bit less. But with both the classes, you will get the same kind of results, because SAP has not turned itself upside down. So everything, almost everything, I think more than 95% of the tasks that you can do in ECC are the same what you can do in HANA. The only addition is the database, and some of the T codes have been changed. And in that case also, if you run the old T code, it is going to give you the new T code. There also you would not face any difficulty. So again, nobody, even you just go on naukri.com, see any job opportunity, nobody asks that we want SAP HANA holder, or if we want somebody who has worked on SAP HANA. So they always write SAP, because they also know that there is no much difference between SAP ECC and SAP HANA. Again, see, people who want to spend more, and there are a lot of organizations that are actually, just asking for double fees on the basis of HANA. But HANA doesn't have anything more than what ECC has to offer, right? So don't have an impression. See, I also learned, when I learned it, HANA was there, and I also went and asked the same question. Then I want to learn HANA. So ultimately there is no difference. I have worked on HANA also, and I have worked on ECC also. Trust me on this, there is no difference, right? Any other doubt? Yeah, great. Any other doubt? Sir, you can move on. Thank you. Sir, you are on mute. Hello. Rahul, sir. Hello. Sir, you can carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So friends, like Rahul told you that actually I'm telling you that I'm also working on SAP HANA. Okay. And from last 10 to 12 years, I'm also working on SAP ECC. Okay. So I'm explaining you that there is no difference in ECC and HANA for the consultant or the users. Okay. Functional consultant or the user. Okay. As I told Rahul told you that Rahul sir told you that there's a difference that only that where ECC works on the database of Oracle and HANA is sole property of SAP only. Okay, for example, you are residing on the place on the rent. So, but right now you have your own house. So, like HANA is your own house and SAP ECC is the house of other where you are paying the rent. Okay, same thing is that. So there is no change in the working on HANA as well in the ECC because I am also working on HANA as I'm also working. I am also working on ECC also for some clients and some for the HANA also. So there is no difference on that. Just the difference only for the database. ECC is the third party database and HANA is the sole property or sole database of SAP only. Okay. Yeah. The difference is for the development consultant as I told you earlier, like ABAP and Basis, they have the different because why? Because HANA is their sole property of SAP and SAP is HANA is a database. So the consultant of database related to the ABAP and Basis, they are doing their own work on the HANA, but for the FICO, SAP, HR, all the function models, there is no need of there is no change in their working. Okay, I think you got my point. I will explain you also. I will show you the windows also of SAP HANA as well as the ECC. Right now, the windows we are using right now to show you is the windows of SAP HANA or SAP ECC. Okay, but later on I will also show you how SAP HANA window will look like. Okay, they are also same. All the options, all the activities are as same as 99%, but the difference is only the database. Later on we are doing using database of Oracle. Right now we have own database of HANA. Okay, so HANA is the name of database. Okay, HANA is the name of database. For example, you are paying something on paying a room rent to someone on the land of on the building of someone other. Right now you have your own house, your home, and you have a name of your home like HANA. Okay. Okay, so what I was telling you how a user can work on the end user window. I didn't explain you all the things. Okay, I just explained 0.01% of SAP end user part. Okay, but I just want to explain you how end user can work. And as Rahul sir told you, this is very simple to work on SAP. You just understand there's a need to just understand the concept only. Okay, it's all depend on us. We will explain you each and everything. We will explain you each and everything. We will clear all your concepts, all your doubts. This is our responsibility. Okay, so as I told you, there is a part of there is a working. There are two type of working. First one is end user. Second one is consultant. So what end user can do? End user can do the day-to-day activity. Now, what consultant will do? Okay, so just as an example, what we are using example of a company Reliance Jio. So the person who is working in Reliance Jio, they are called end user. But from where SAP from where or which company implemented SAP in Reliance Jio? So basically, Reliance Jio is a company who is working in the communication sector. So they didn't implement SAP on their own. But there are some IT companies. Okay, there are some IT companies. They will do the implementation process. Okay, for example, like have you I think you already heard about the like Accenture, TCS, Capgemini, Cognizant. There are lots of 2300 companies in India. there are 2,300 companies in India who is doing the implementation of SAP. Okay, like for example, BHL wants to implement SAP in their company. They want to run SAP. Okay, so they will go to the this types of IT companies like Accenture, TCS, Capgemini, Cognizant. Like now, these companies are the implementation partner of SAP. They have the right to implement SAP at their own, at the client level. For example, you in a Tele, so you can't implement install SAP Tele in your system by your own. You need a license from the IT companies, and they will come to you and they will install and implement or configure okay, configure the SAP, okay, for as per your requirement. So these IT companies like TCS, Capgemini, Accenture, or Cognizant, or 23,000 companies, they have the right to implement SAP in the at their where the company want to use it. Okay, like BHL, Cognizant, Deni Bhaskar, etc. Okay, so for example, you are working in Deni Bhaskar, so you will be an end user, and if you are working in this IT company, you will be a consultant. Okay, so now what consultant will do? Okay, so what is the responsibility of consultant? Basically, implementation of SAP. Okay, basically implementation of SAP are done by the consultants. Okay, so there are lots of different things comes here, like configuration or blueprint creation. So all these things comes done by the consultants. For example, so if you are working in the IT companies, you have to do all these things like blueprint creation, configuration, testing part, or will help to the user, or will give the training to the user so that they can work, because users are new, they don't know how to work on SAP. So this is consultant responsibility to give the training to the users on the particular modules. Okay, for example, if end user facing any problem in the live systems, so you have to give them support to them. Okay, so or for example, if you somebody someone wants to do some configuration, so this also done by the consultant side. Okay, so all these things should be maintained by the consultant. So as I told you earlier that there is a front end and a back end. So this is the front end where end user was. Now what is the back end and where is the back end? Back end is also available here. For example, I told you there are a lot of T code to go on a particular Windows. Like for example, I told you that FB50 is the T code to go on a general entries. As like there is a T code called SPRO. This is the T code to go on the back end where consultant can configure the system as per the requirement of client. I just press the enter button. Click on this button. Okay, so this is the backend of SAP. So as I told you earlier that what is the what we'll do the at the backend, we will do configuration at the backend. So here we can customize and configure SAP as per our requirement. Okay, so in the training session we will start from the configuration. Okay, how to create a company, how to create a financial year, how to create a general ledgers, how to create an account group. All these things we will do in the configuration part. Then we will go for the end user part also. So at there in the training sessions, we will do the configuration also, and we will learn the end user part also. First of all, we will do the configuration. Then we will go to the end user part and see how configuration we will use as an end user. Then we'll again come to the configuration part. We will do the configuration related to the topics. Then we come to the end user part of the particular topics, and we'll execute the end user work. Okay. Now, for example, if you are a consultant and if you want to create a company or any financial activity, how can do it? For example, like I will go to the enterprise structure. Here we can create the company. Okay. For example, there is a company like Tata Motors. Okay. Tata Motors. And there's a company Accenture. Okay. So if you are working with Accenture, you will be a consultant. And if you're in the finance department, you will be a financial controlling consultant, FICO consultant. Okay. Now the FICO consultant, what FICO consultant will do? They will do the configuration. Okay. So they will create all the details of the Tata Motors in the SAP first of all. Then SAP end user of Tata Motors can use the SAP for their day-to-day activity. For example, like if you want to create a company in SAP, then go to the define company, or we can say that company code. Here you can create your company like Tata Motors. I will write a code here and write Tata Motors. Okay. So we will get all this information from the client, like that from Tata Motors, and we will do the configuration here. For example, I am writing that that city from where Tata Motors can working. City Mumbai, country IN stands for India, language English, and currency is INR. So I'm just writing that how a company can create or how a company can configure in the SAP. So I just press the save button. Okay, now I'm sending request to the server. Just so please save my request in the database or in the server. Okay, so what system saying that your company is created or data was saved. So here what we did, we created a company like Tata Motors. Okay, for example, now Tata Motors is a Tata Motors is not a group, it's a company. So we will create you can create a group here also, like Reliance Industries is a group. So you can create a group here, okay, or in the company, inside the company, like Reliance Jio. So you can create the Reliance Jio here. Okay, so define company means creation of a group, and company code means subsidiaries within that particular group. Now what we created right now, we created Tata Motors. Okay, so Tata Motors is not a group, is a company. So we will also create a company here also. So what consultant will do? Consultant will create configure a company here also. So he will come and create the details of Tata Motors, like TTMR is a code, Tata Motors. Okay, city is Mumbai, country IN, currency Indian rupee, and language English. Okay, so what we are doing the configuration related to the company. We are creating the company. Okay, for example, as I told you, as I explained you earlier, like we are doing the general entries in the Hindalco company. Okay, so where Hindalco company comes from here. Okay, somebody created the Hindalco company here. That's why we are using the Hindalco at the time of general entries or vendor invoice also, vendor invoice. So if we are doing the Tata Motors configuration here, then we can go for the integer part, and there we will go for the receivable part, payable part, and we'll do your day-to-day activity. Like I just write Tata Motors here. Okay, and city is Mumbai, country IN, and region 13. Region means state. Okay, so Mumbai comes in the Maharashtra. So there is a list of state available here. So I just checking that Maharashtra. Okay. I just want to explain you that configuration as well as end user part are very, very easy. The only thing is to understand the concept and do the practical basis, and do the practical on your system also. Okay. So as I just told you right now, by practical scenario, the same thing we will deliver you during time of training. We will explain you each and everything as like practical. Just I'm explaining you right now. Okay, just like I was want to come up from the window. For example, we want to create a financial year. How a consultant create a financial year? For example, in the Indian accounting system, our financial starts from the April 1st to 31st March. Okay, so we have to create this type of financial year in the system. Okay, so that's so due to this, our company will start to work on this scenario also. For example, like Tata Motors wants that their calendar, their financials will start from 1st April and will be end to the 31st March. So we have to configure this type of financial year in the system, and we will assign this financial with the Tata Motors. Now later on, whenever we work on the Tata Motors will work according to that particular financial year. Like the entries of the financial year in the Tata Motors will start from 1st April and will be end in the 31st March. So how can we configure a financial year system? Let me explain you. Financial accounting. Ledger. Fiscal year. Okay, so at here you will get the option of fiscal year. Fiscal means financial year, and posting period means in which financial year you want to create the document. Right now we are working in the financial year of 2021 to 2022. So this is your posting period. Okay, right now August is the posting month and financial year is 2021. So the posting period is August 2021. Okay, and financial fiscal year means what is the nature of your fiscal year, whether it is starting from whether it's working from April to March or from January to December. Like RBI financial year starts from July 1st and will be end to the 31st June or 30 June. Okay, like for like in the companies of US, they work from 1st January to 31st December. So they have the financial year from January to December. But in the Indian financial accounting system, our fiscal year starts from the April to March. Okay, so here you can configure your financial year. We just want to explain you that we will do all this in practically here, and this is so simple to explain. Okay, or so simple to understand and so simple to execute. Okay, just need to understand the concept. For example, I want to create a new financial year. Like I will do the new entries. I just write TT here. Okay, I just write Tata financial year April to March. I'm just saying that my financial starts from April and will end to the March. Okay, and my financial is not year dependent. I'm not creating this financial year for any particular year, and this is not my calendar year. Why? Because my financial starts from April to March, and calendar year will be start from January to December. And okay, so I'm not mark checking on the calendar year. Now I'm telling the system that my number of posting period is 12. We have a 12 months in a financial year. That's why I'm writing 12 here. And as a finance person, you already know that there are 4 special periods available for us for the auditing of the last year, like April, May, June, July. Okay, this is the special periods. Okay, so this 4 months are called special periods. So that's why we are writing 4 here. Okay, so I just write the code TT. Okay, and create a description and just post that we have a 12 posting periods, so posting months, and we have 4 special period for the auditing of last year. I just press the enter. Okay, now I have to explain the system, and I have to configure the system from which month will be which month of the calendar year will be the month of financial year. Let me explain you. I press the new entries. Okay, so I just write here 4. Month 4 means April, which is of 30 days. Okay, which is of 30 days will be the first month of my financial year. Okay, year shift is 0. It means that it will be counted in the current year. Okay, now 5th means May, having 31 days will be the second month of my financial year. The person who know that our financial start from the April to March, they will understand easily that April will be the 4th month of the calendar year, but will be the first month of my period, first month of my financial year. May will be the second month, 5th month of my calendar year, having 31 days, but second month of my financial year. So like here, you can configure your financial year also. Like 6 June, having 30 days will be 3rd month. July, 31 days, 4th month of your financial year. August, 31 days, 5th month of your financial year. September, 30 days, 6th month of your financial year. 10th, 31 days means October will be the 7th month of your financial year. November, having 30 days will be the 8th month of your financial year. December, 31 days, 9th month of your financial year. Now, from April, May, June, July to December, we are in the current year. Now, 1 means January, having 31 days will be the 10th month of my financial year and will be counted in the previous year. It means that the January of 2022 will be counted in the 2021. That's why I'm writing -1 here. It means that it will not count in the next year, will be counted in the previous year, previous financial year. February, having 28 days, 11th month of a financial year and -1. March, 31 days, 12 and -1 means will be created on the. So here what I explained you that my financial year, my calendar year month will be will be which month of my financial year. Okay, so here March is my 12th month of my financial year. I think the person or the candidates who is seeing this will understand what we are doing right now. Okay, I just press save here. Right, okay. So now the Tata Motors will work like will work in this through scenario. April month will be the first month of financial year. May will be the second month of financial year. March will be the 12th month of the financial year. Okay, I think you understand it. We have to assign this TT with the company code. Like so, if you so here there's no option of new entries. So we have to find our company Tata Motors. So here from how we can find? We can find from the position. Position is the find option. TTMR. This is my company code. Now, what is the code of my fiscal year variant? TT. Okay. So like here, you can, what I did here, I just assigned my financial year to the Tata Motors. Now Tata Motors will become eligible to work according to this financial year from April to March. Okay, so lots of things we can do. Like for example, if you want to create a if you want to create a general ledger, how you can create a general ledger? For example, I will explain you how to create a account group first. Okay, there are a lot of accounts available in the company in the system. For like example, I'm just giving example of Hindalco. Okay, so there is a company Hindalco. Okay, so there is a this account group called current asset. Okay, so current assets general ledger will start from 1 to 9999. It means that you can create 10,000 GL in the current assets. Okay, like for example, direct expenses, you can create general ledger of direct expenses from 40,000 to 49,900. In that you can create 10,000 general ledger in the current in the direct expenses. You can create your own account group also. For example, new entries. Here you can create your account group. I think you already know what account group is, like GL. For example, office expenses. Now office expenses comes in the group of direct expenses. For example, material purchase. Material purchase GL comes in the group of direct expenses. For example, material sales. Material sales comes in the group of direct income. Okay, so this types of thing we can create here. Then we can go for the general ledgers. For example, as I told you right now, you can create here also. Like for example, I just told you about the Hindalco company. We in the during time of practical basis, I will explain you how to create these types of account group, all these things. Okay, so for example, this is the account group. Now you can go and create your GL also. So for example, if you want to create your GL, then there is a T code called FS00 for the GL creation. Okay, so there is a company Hindalco. For example, if you want to create any GL related to the current assets, direct expenses, you can go in the folder and you can create it. For example, you want to create a GL like, for example, you want to create a new bank GL. Okay, in the current asset. So right now, SBI having the GL number 1, Axis Bank 2, 3, and 4. It means that you can create your next GL with the number of 5. For example, direct expenses, manufacturing expenses, material purchase, service purchase, index expense, rent given, office premium, LIC premium. So all these things you can all these GLs are available here, are created by the consultant, or we can say that created by the student who is getting training from our side. Okay, so this is the system, and this is the company which is created by our student who are getting training from our side. Okay, so during time of training, I will explain you how to create a GL scenario. Let me explain you how to create a GL. Okay, just give me a minute. Like in the current asset, I want to create a new GL for the bank. Okay, so I just write to the next number 5 because 1, 2, 3, 4 are occupied. I just write 5 here. Press enter. Okay, so account group. He's asking about the account group. Now the current assets. Now bank is in the current assets, and current assets is part of balance sheet. Like for example, HDFC Bank account. Okay, so I just write the general ledgers, short text or long text. Control data. Here I am saying that in which currency I will work, in the INR. Line item display, and I want to see that whenever I want to see the details of the bank, system will show the first of all see the show the bank, then it will show postings on that particular GL. Now create bank interest rate. Field status group. Field status means what types of field you want to. Okay, for example, whenever you will do the for example, I just explained you earlier. So when I just choose the GL number of bank at there. Okay, and I will put the value date here. Value date means on which date I want to clear the amount from the bank. Okay, so how it will be possible that which is options are mandatory or not? It only possible due to the field status. Okay, so every GL having different status, that like for the bank, like there is a group like bank account. It means that whenever you will do the entry related to the bank, you is there any option which is mandatory? System will allow you. System will ask you that this option is mandatory. You have to fill all this option. For example, okay. Okay, so here you like here you can create your GL also. Okay, like for example, I will save here. Okay. Okay, so here you will get your GL number. Okay, so now you can work in the HDFC Bank general ledger. Okay, so there are lots of things we can do during the in the configuration. I will explain you each and everything during time of training. If is there any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. 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 One more thing I want to explain you that we have a course content with us. Rahul sir will share this course content with you. Okay. This all these things which is available in this course content will be in our training sessions. Okay. We will explain you each and everything through the practical scenario in the time of training. Okay. So this is our course content. Okay. So the course content of SAP Finance and Controlling are divided in the 5 parts. Okay. First one is general configuration posting. Here we can do the general configurations related to the definition, assignment, financial year, posting periods, or journal entries, or all these things. Okay. And we will do some works of journal entries also in that, like different documents like hold, park, journal entries, recurring document, outstanding expenses, prepaid expense, how to create it. Okay. Now, second part is accounts payable. Okay, here we can do the activity related to the vendor. Okay, so first of all, we have to do the configuration related to the payable. Then we can go for the work of vendors, or we can do the work of payable part, like vendor invoice, vendor payments, vendor advances, all these things. Okay, automatic payments program, house bank settlements, all these things, bank charges, cash count, we will do in the part of payable. Okay. Now, third part is account receivable. Here we can do the activity related to the customer. Okay, first of all, we will do the configuration related to the payable receivable. Then we can go to the payable. Then we can go for the configuration end user part. Now the fourth part is a different like bank interest calculation, item interest calculation, cash general, financial statement versions, trial balance. These are the topics related to which we can do the reporting purpose. Okay, like GST, receivable, payable balances, TDS, data migration, all the activities, open, closing balance, trial balance, debt balance sheets, all these things we can configure and will use here in this part. Okay, now the next part is controlling. Here we can do the work related to the costing. So we can do the configuration related to the controlling or costings, like cost element, creation of cost center, etc., document numbering. Then we can do for the end user part of controlling. Okay. So this is
So,
the
sir,
first part of.
please share it with me. I'll share it with my group members. Please share this document with me. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I have actually given a link of registration.
Mm-hmm.
And please fill the registration link. Okay. And those who are interested to do the course, please fill the registration link, and we'll contact you shortly about the course details, what would be the duration and what would be the cost also. Okay. So I hope you have liked today's session. The idea is to actually make people aware about SAP, and whether you learn it from us or from anybody else, but it is as a finance graduate and as a finance chartered accountant also, you need to have understanding about SAP, and it is the need of the hour. And thank you very much, guys, for spending time on a weekend for a learning session like this. And we if you have not joined the group, please join the group so that we can share with you all the latest happenings, and if there are any free sessions that we are taking, we can share it with you and you can be a part of it. Okay. So with
Rahul,
this, yeah.
okay, Rahul, can you unmute anybody, all the candidates, so that if they,
Yeah,
if they have any,
I'll just unmute it just a second.
yeah, if they have any query, they can ask.
So you can stop sharing, right? And I'll
Yeah.
just make them all
Yeah.
unmute. So you can ask your doubts. Okay. About the fees and all, we can discuss it separately. If you have any doubt regarding SAP, you can ask it with sir, and then we can wrap it up. Yeah. So if you have any doubts, please let us know.
Make them unmute first.
Done, all done.
Okay, okay.
You can unmute yourself now. Okay. So any which is we are going to connect with you separately. So please
Okay.
register yourself on the link. I will just put the link again. Just register yourself on the link, and we'll call you, right? Yeah. So register yourself on the link, and if you are a group member, then you can directly connect with me. And this is my number. I'll just write down my number also. So you can connect directly for any other query, right? Thank you very much for attending the session. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, sir, for
Okay.
for your
Okay.
deliberations. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.